It right now.
What?
And we are live. So by the time this thing catches up, it should be going live like right on time, which would be a first in I don't know how long.
Very long.
So if you guys have never seen this beautiful pale skin, well, yeah, not that pale, but let's say light-skinned ginger, minus the freckles. This is our longtime friend, Mr. Paul. iamApropos.
What's up, y'all?
And that's iamApropos. It's, what is it, like Spanish or what is it?
No, it's a French-derived English word that means appropriate, pretty much.
Oh, but we get very inappropriate at times, though.
We do.
All right. So his Twitter handle's up there. Are you doing any live streams or something coming up? So by the time this thing catches up,
hang on. I need to mute us. Bark. There we are. Pretty much my schedule is being changed, and it's roughly Thursday through Saturday without a given time frame, because I might start in the middle of the day, I might start in the middle of the evening. Don't know because of things that are going on, but those are the days I'm roughly scheduled to live stream on Twitch.
Isn't that nice though? Like compared to the very it has to be at this day at this time, because then you're freaking out if you're running late. Like our audience,
my God.
Like my audience likes to give us a hard time. Jerry and I, we're never on time. And yes, I did everything in my power to make sure that we were on time. With Jerry not being here today, because I thought that would be kind of funny if Jerry's not here and it's like, boom, on time. He's probably watching, I'm not sure.
He is.
Anyway.
He's in chat.
He's taking the night off, so we have another big fella stepping in with us here. You guys can go check him out on Twitter. You can also check him out on Twitch under the same handle, iamApropos. And what games are you streaming now?
Between Brawlhalla, Rocket League, still playing some Battlefields on Friday between Battlefield 4 and Hardline. Every once in a while, jump into Guild Wars 2 because they're doing a whatchamacallit second version of it. What do they call that stuff? they're doing a launch soon of the game, which we're excited about. A second release, like an update. What do they call that?
Sequel?
Like a sequel that they don't do that in games anymore. They always, make another game. Anyway, so they're doing that. We're excited about Heart of Thorns. And then what else am I playing? Doing a little Minecraft.
Yourself? You playing with yourself?
Playing with myself. Do a little Minecraft though, but Minecraft tends to have a problem with me, because every time I schedule Minecraft, something goes horribly wrong and it never happens.
It's just fate.
It is.
I tell you, I put up a Minecraft video and holy shit, was there some salt in there? Wow. Woo. Man, it got hot in there quick.
They didn't like you playing Minecraft.
Well, apparently I'm now labeled as a 12-year-old girl, I guess.
Oh my God.
That's okay.
Minecraft's awesome.
I'm gonna do 5 more Minecraft videos in a row, just because. No, I'm not going to, but I should. I really should. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna roll that intro, so you know what you have to do there, sir.
I gotta sing.
It's 11 seconds starting now.
It's Tech Talk number 90. It's Tech Talk number 90. We're here having fun. Let's see what you're doing in chat. There's words that rhymed last time. I broke it this time.
That was pretty good improv right there, if you ask me. Oh man. Okay, so you told me you wanted me to share with the audience what I renamed you to in Skype.
Oh my God, yes.
I aliased you.
But why did you rename it too? I want to hear the reasons behind that. Why I got renamed to what you named me. It was freaking hilarious.
Oh, okay. So I give everyone an alias on Skype. That way, if the call drops, they don't see your real Skype name, so they can't find you or resolve you. So I renamed you from Mr. Fluffy Pants one day. You were Mr. Fluffy Pants, but now you are the plushy terrorist. Well, the joke was you're always going around throwing A-bombs everywhere, and we were calling you a terrorist. And then you kept correcting me, going, "But they're weapons of plushy destruction."
Plushies of mass destruction.
Oh, that's what it was.
Still correcting you.
Yeah,
but no, it's perfect.
The baby has, she's pretty much owned the plushie that you sent over here. So.
I'm surprised that, I would have been surprised if she didn't get that within seconds of it arriving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, here's what we're gonna do today. I'm probably gonna look up a couple of topics. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today, and then we're gonna do a lot of both hashtag Ask Tech Talk on Twitter, as well as interacting with the chat. It's funny because last week Jerry and I spent a lot of time interacting with the YouTube chat, which is not something we do a lot because it tends to be pretty volatile in in YouTube chat.
No
Doesn't matter
joke.
where it's at. So we tend to ignore it because of the immaturity problems. But last year it was pretty tame. So
Awesome.
so then we got called out for ignoring Twitter, and it's like, oh, we can't win.
Can't win. Can't please them all.
So what we need you guys to do is to start loading up questions with hashtag AskTechTalk in Twitter. Don't do hashtag AskTechTalk in YouTube chat like we've seen people do. You got to go to Twitter.
That doesn't work. Hashtags don't work on YouTube.
It doesn't work. Oh yeah, and there is poop on Jerry's head because of throwback. So yeah, people notice that. So I think the first thing I want to go ahead and show, and I got his permission to show some of his video.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Our good friend Kyle, aka Awesome Sauce Network, he decided. See, it's funny. I think at some point we've all kind of poked fun at each other in our videos, right?
Yep.
There's times I've kind of impersonated, Logan in my intro, just kind of messing around. But no one has really taken the time to create an impersonation video of just all of us in one clean swoop.
Oh, it's so great.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show two of them, and he did quite a few. He did Linus, he did me, he did Logan, he did Jerry, he did Austin Evans, Dimitri from Hardware Canucks. So I'm gonna show Jerry's and then mine's because I pretty much feel like Kyle got this spot on.
Oh, yes, he did. I can't wait for everybody to see it if they haven't seen it.
Now, now I'm going to preface this because I am 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the video, so you can't see in the beginning. Kyle does preface this by saying, this is all in good fun. He loves all of us. This was not meant to be offensive. This was just meant to be fun for people that he likes, and it's pretty hilarious. So we're going to go ahead and move over to my left screen over here. Kyle, thanks for letting me share this. If you guys want to see the whole video, just head over to Awesome Sauce Network YouTube channel. Look at its most recent video. I didn't have time to put the link in the description. I'll put it there for the playback. But anyway, and Paul, unfortunately, you're going to just have to kind of listen.
It's all good.
You're not even going to hear it. So here we go. This is Jerry's impersonation and then mine from Kyle at Awesome Sauce Network.
Hey guys, Jerry here, aka Barnacles, and today we're going to be unboxing the box for the month of September, aka October.
You know, because it's the month between August and October. Duh.
For those of you who don't know, Junkbox is a monthly subscription service where each month they send you a box of collectibles as their way of saying,
Now you figure out what to do with all this crap.
so let's dive right in with our trusty bat knife.
Bat knife! Bat knife! Woo! I feel so used.
By the way, in case you're
Not from around these parts.
I 3D printed this with a special edition Ultimaker printer that I also 3D printed. I would have 3D printed a replica of my wiener, but
I ran out of filament, ladies.
as you can see, this card has three 90mm fans which push downward on the aluminum heatsink, and this thing is definitely on the longer side, so it might not fit into tight spaces. Get your mind out of the gutter. Clearly this card would do fantastic in a high-end gaming PC, but what I'm probably going to end up doing is mounting it to my bicycle, because for one, the added weight will help me burn extra calories during my 50-mile bike runs that I take during my lunch breaks, and two, because I have 15 of them. In fact, little Jay has really been getting into MS Paint lately, so next week I'm going to try to water cool 9 of these bad boys in SLI for her new system.
All right, so that was Jerry's and then mine, but he basically goes out and like shoots, he basically shoots at all of us, shots fired, but it was hilarious. And you know what's going to happen now? I kind of feel like this is going to turn into like there's going to be a rebuttal and like a official response video.
Oh my God,
from
yes.
people. So I think it'll be fun. But yeah, Kyle, well played, sir. Clearly you did not use nearly enough silver hair paint in your hair to get me. Not even close.
No.
But yeah,
Needs more.
And I already corrected him on Twitter. I'm not putting 9 980 Ti's water-cooled in Little J's system for her MS Paint server. I'm using 10. So get it straight if you're going to fire shots.
Get it right. It's 10.
Anyway, I feel like he should have put you in there and just had like 15 seconds of throwing the plushies at the camera.
Now that's what's up. Now that's what's up. Now that's what's up.
That's pretty much how it would have gone. Oh man!
Oh, we were sitting in Gamebox, the A-Team gaming community, and we were watching that and just dying, just absolutely dying. And then when he pulled up, before he even said anything, and I saw the white hair, the silver hair, I was like, oh, Oh no, he didn't.
Well, it's like an easy go-to thing. I mean, you can see right here in the video. I've got some pretty silver hair going on here. So
Oh my
that's
God.
okay. It's sophisticated. Each hair is a wisdom hair, and I have earned every one of those. Okay.
With my thinking is it came from all the full-time job, full-time YouTube, full-time family man. Holy cow.
Well, it's funny. I started going gray as 14 was when I started noticing gray hair pop up. So
Wow.
I just all the other stuff you mentioned did was accelerated, I think.
It's accelerated, right? So, hey, I noticed have you talked about what you're wearing on your as cans tonight? Have we talked about those before?
I have a video review of these. I've been wearing them ever since I hooked them up. These are the Sennheiser RS-175 wireless hi-fi headphones.
Very good. I'm looking at a video of this big, so I couldn't tell if those were the same ones that you were wearing.
They are.
Gotcha.
I really like the freedom aspect of them being wireless, and they don't have any sort of signal degradation over wireless.
Really?
The range on them is amazing. It's kind of fun to be in a Skype call with someone, or even in a group chat, and tell, hey guys, I'll be right back. I got to step away. But keep wearing them as I go somewhere else in the house, and then listen to all the shit they talk behind my back. It's like, oh yeah, you just keep talking to me, bitches.
Wait until I get back in range. You can say something. That's funny. Well,
Yeah.
they're awesome. That's cool.
No, they sound really good. They're comfortable. They get a little bit
Nice.
hot, but
Do they?
other than that, they're very nice. Ever since I've gotten these, the wireless aspect of them, they last. I've gone as long as 4.5 hours gaming with these and never had them die on me. So
Wow.
I'm happy with them. I really am. They're actually designed for like home theater setups. For people who want high fidelity and also good bass, because they also have a amp in them, and it's got on the side right here. You can turn on and off the simulated surround, and you can turn up and turn down the bass gain on it.
Nice.
So if I was watching like an action movie, I could crank it. But it's designed for if you need to have a quiet home theater, baby sleeping, something like that.
Very cool.
You could do, and it uses SPDIF optical, for the input. But I can't use it in the living room because I'm already got my my Sonos soundbar using the optical.
Ah, gotcha.
I could
Now,
use analog, but then it wouldn't give me the full range.
You gamed with them, right?
I game with them all the time. Yeah,
I'm sure that bass enhancement sounds pretty good in like Battlefield 4.
I turn it down. I've had to turn
Really?
it off because it's too much.
It just rumbles your face.
Yeah, it's too much. Like
It's
my
like-
cheeks vibrate.
Really?
For wireless headphones, that's not really too bad.
That's actually pretty impressive. Cheeks
Yeah.
vibrating.
So have you seen that we are starting to see official Oculus support for gaming systems now?
I started seeing a little bit of that on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to start seeing, Oculus retail units going out with systems that are already tailored towards Oculus optimization, and Asus is one of those.
Have you got to play with it?
Oh yeah, I've gotten to play with it a lot in the behind-the-scenes stuff,
Right.
like with the Nvidia meetings and stuff that I go to.
Right.
In fact, last week I was in LA along with just about every other tech YouTuber when we were getting some behind-the-scenes, hands-on experience with the new Nvidia GTX 980, the full 980 chip inside laptops, not 980M, like full-on 980 in laptops. They had Oculus set up where we were playing some. Oh my God! It was a space game. I can't remember what it was.
I haven't experienced Oculus, but I've experienced the Samsung S6 hookup with the VR.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away. That was so cool. And I'm glad I was sitting down because I would have face first into the ground trying to move around. It was so cool.
Nvidia has worked very closely with Oculus because I guess the challenge with VR is latency.
Which makes sense.
Where if there's any latency, like we're talking even just a few milliseconds of latency between turning your head and what your eyes have to basically decode to your brain as movement, can throw off the entire experience and make people sick. I was one of those people that made sick, terribly sick.
Really?
Oh yeah. So
I
do
thought-
3D movies.
Interesting. Now, 3D movies sometimes can, depending. But I thought because I suffer from vertigo all the time, I thought this was going to kill me. But I was like, I'm going to try it because it was at the local Best Buy or whatever. I'm going to try it. Wifey's like, I don't know. You're going to get sick right here in the middle of this place.
To the
And it
real
didn't.
quick, the folks in chat saying it was probably Star Citizen. It was not Star Citizen.
That would have been amazing.
I'll remember it once I see the name of it.
Elite Dangerous?
No. Let's see. No, not Star Citizen, not Elite. Yeah, I really wish I could remember.
Can't
It was
think
pretty
of-
awesome. It was like 3D, space battles and stuff in a ship. No, it sounds like Star Citizen, but it's not Star Citizen. But I was getting very disoriented because obviously when you're in 3D space, there's no horizon
Right.
to keep you oriented. And I kept getting lost. I was getting into dogfights. But I'm one of those people that VR used to basically give me instant vertigo.
Huh.
And one of my meetings I was with them when they launched 980 Ti, where they again were showing Oculus, it had this slow, like, you're kind of floating through this slow motion action scene where the cops are like fighting robots and cars are getting thrown over your head and stuff.
Right.
Because the thing was moving forward real slow, like you're walking, and because I wasn't walking, I kept like almost falling over to where the guys from Nvidia at one point were standing on either side of me.
Making sure you're not going to fall
Yeah,
over.
because I was wobbling like a drunk, like just as bad as the drunk stream. That was me rolling
yeah.
around on the floor. That's like me with VR. I put it on and I'm like, oh, I don't know which way's up. I get really stupid. But
If I would have been standing, that would have been me. Yeah.
I think they learned their lesson last time because the VR demo this time was at a chair.
Right. That's where they
So-
put me in a chair. He looked at me and goes, "You need to sit down there before I put this on." I
Yes.
was like, "Okay."
Schmooze. Yes, it was Valkyrie. is what it
Valkyrie?
was. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Valkyrie in VR.
Wow, you caught that in chat? I'm
I
like
just
trying to
happened see
watch
it go by.
it. Good job.
Yes, it was Eve Valkyrie. I want Oculus for one thing and one thing only. My racing simulator.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason why I want it. Because you know how
Dude.
weird it is to be sitting in a cockpit and having to push a button on the steering wheel to make the screen look right and look left?
It breaks the realism of the game.
Exactly, instantly. And you become disoriented instantly.
Yep.
But to be able to turn your head
Just turn your head. That would be so cool.
and have
That'd be
full
so
peripheral
cool.
vision. I mean, I'm telling you right now, when Oculus goes to retail, I'm buying it.
Oh
And
my
I'm
God.
taking all the screens off the simulator, and it's just going to be a nice little compact unit with a VR. I'm pretty much put the thing in the closet. Just open up the closet and have it be like a simulator in there.
Hell yeah, man. That'd be awesome. How much are they saying about rough price, what it's going to be?
I don't know. I'm going to have to pull the chat on that one if people know what the retail. Apparently, Oculus already has a retail unit, so I don't know. Oculus is one of those things that's been kind of like really drawn out.
Yeah, they're taking their time to really fine-tune it.
And that's kind of a good thing though, because I think maybe pricing is a little more aggressive for the consumer because
That'd be nice.
because there are other options now, where they talked and hyped Oculus for so long that other companies were like, oh hey, this is a thing, and they had time to catch up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I still think based on all the different VR headsets I tried at CES this year, Oculus is still by far the farthest ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
That gets me excited because what I experienced with the Samsung setup, that was pretty impressive. I was like, wow, I want this in my life. And if it's that much better than that,
Right.
if Oculus is that much better, oh my goodness, I want that now. That would be,
Yeah.
so good. Now, this makes me think of the HoloLens thing. Have you
I haven't
kept up with that?
I haven't experienced HoloLens, but I've
What do you
seen
think of
it.
the idea?
I'll be honest. I haven't paid as much attention to that whole arena
Right.
as I probably should have as a tech enthusiast, because I knew that when 3D movies and VR and wearable tech like that makes me sick, I don't get excited about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally get it because, I mean, why would you get excited about something that's going to make you miserable?
But I feel like I feel like I'm that guy in the room that, everyone's trying it out. They're like, oh, in fact, Luke and Brandon from Linus Media Group were with me in this same meeting. Where
Okay.
we were all trying it out at the same time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is cool. We've seen it before." And I'm like, "This is fucking amazing! This is awesome!" I'm like that guy in the room that's like 6 months late to the party. Oh my god, yeah, woo, party! Because I'm finally like able to enjoy it. Where they're kind of like, "Okay, the newness is
We've
worn
had
off."
this,
Yeah,
right?
Jay, the newness is gone. No, this
like-
is awesome! I can't wait to get this. Oh my god!
This is amazing. They're saying about $350. A couple of people said that. So
I'm gonna buy one for little Jay
Is-
at that rate.
is it
I'm
really
just
going to
kidding.
be that cheap?
It would have
Seriously?
to- but it would have to be, right? If there's other,
But man, that just seems cheap. If
yeah,
I don't know, to me I'll get two. I mean,
I'm getting it. It's going on the racing sim. That's
Oh.
it.
dude, I might want to start doing racing sims at that rate of 350. Oh my god, that'd be just perfect.
Yeah. Well, you'd be able to, for about, let's say $1,000. For $1,000, you could have a VR racing simulator where you could get something like a GT Omega Art Cockpit for about $450,
Nice.
with the nice seat and stuff, because you don't need the monitors.
No, you got a headset.
You could have like one cheap monitor hooked up as a desktop, so you can navigate in the computer. But you wouldn't need high refresh rate panels. You get the VR unit and like has built-in headphones, although they're not great, right? I mean, they're.
So could you get rid of those and put something else on, like nice cans? Would that
Well, you know, the Oculus, the straps and stuff are kind of thick on the side, and you wear it as like a frame on top of your head. So I don't know how well they would fit, but I imagine you could get some like high-end earbuds.
Yeah, I have the Shure SE215 earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
Those, they sound great for,
Yeah.
work, because you plug it in, you don't have to. But how would you get rid of the earpiece that's already there? Does that
They fold up.
Oh, nice, very cool. That would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. So
Yeah, they fold up.
So you can actually buy the dev kit now for $350.
I don't think the dev kit, and we were talking about this at the Nvidia meeting, I don't believe the dev kit is the same one we were demoing.
Ah, okay, that would make sense.
I believe the SDK is different than the one they were using.
Gotcha. They're saying that it's not cheap. Well, I mean, if you consider what it can do for the price, $350, in relevance to
can we compare how much three 144 hertz 27-inch panels would cost to get a surround setup on a simulator, and then compare cost?
Yeah, no, this is cheap.
It is cheap, because then you're talking like a less than $150 a monitor, and you're not going to get nice 24 or 27-inch 144 hertz panels for a racing sim if you wanted that super smooth movement for anywhere near $350.
Oh my goodness! And
not to mention, you could use it in any, like, to me, FPS. I wouldn't want VR for FPS.
No. I would.
Yeah, you would be like falling over and throwing up and like shitting yourself. But I also no, imagine it. Like,
see me on the H1Z1. You have any water? Like, because my whole thing in there is asking for water, because you can't get water, and they obviously don't have any, so I kill them and take their stuff. Geez. Can't do that now. I'll be like, you have any water? Hey God, what the hell? I'm on the floor. Nope. It'd be probably funny to live stream and get an off-camera shot, to see from above, and I'm over there like twitching on the floor.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
Racing sims, maybe flight sims.
Flight Simulator 10, although I wish we had something newer than Flight Simulator 10. I'm not a fan of X-Plane. I've tried X-Plane, but I still like Flight Sim 10.
Yeah.
That's a modding community right there. Flight Sim 10 came out in like 2005.
I haven't played them in so long.
Yeah. They required some really stupidly powerful computers back then, and the powerful computers now still don't run them the greatest, because they're not really multi-core optimized at all.
Right.
Because back then, dual cores were kind of a thing just coming out. So I think that was when the Pentium D first came out. That's how long ago we're talking.
Oh my goodness.
Phenom was still like in the pipeline. That's how long ago it was. Yeah. Oh man. So let's see. I was looking at hard OCP over here. I forgot. Rainbow Six beta keys. I think that went out today.
It did. I'm still waiting. I'm like, was dying. I was thinking I was going to get like my email, because I have my beta key approved, but yet I don't have the email saying I can go download it. And I'm like, let me pay.
Maybe I'll need to. One of my vendors I work with was like, hey, Jay, do you want a Rainbow Six key? I was like, nah. Maybe I should get it. I don't know.
We should hook up and play it, because I mean, when you team up with some people and you got to break through walls to go, infiltrate a place to take out whoever's in there bad, that would be so much fun.
Yeah,
it just seems like a lot of fun we can have together, but I need to download it. Well, see, there's another thing. Well, a bunch of people in the community who have keys have had the same issue. They don't have they can't download it, so we're just waiting. I've seen a lot of people playing it, and I'm going nuts. I want to play it. Sorry,
I was responding to an important message here. Never done working. The reason why I turned it down initially. One, because I don't like when... Okay, see, and I've talked to you about this before, too. I don't get to play a lot of games, and I've just recently been like, screw this, I'm putting games back into my life. And I've been playing more games like the last couple of weeks. But I don't like it when people send me a product key, and they're like, hey, check out this game. And it could go to someone else who could enjoy it, where for me, it's just going to sit in a library with like 2 hours playtime on it.
Right.
And not to mention, to me, the past Rainbow Six games have been hit or miss. You know,
Yeah.
Ghost Recon I heard was good, but it didn't have a following like Battlefield does or even Call of Duty does. So I wasn't too excited about the idea of the new Rainbow Six game. But now I'm seeing a lot of hype.
I'm seeing a lot of hype.
But that can lead to a big disappointment too.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. It's a beta key, so it's not like anyone's out any money or anything. But still.
I got mine because of Extra Life. I've started a team, and then I got an email saying, "Hey, here's a beta key for that," and I was like, "Sweet."
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, if I test it out, I'm gonna give it a fair. I don't know too much about it. I saw it announced at E3, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," but I looked no further into it because I want to give it my own try before I give final results on it. Otherwise, I get too hyped up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna love it!" And I get in there, I'm like, "Ooh, what?"
Right.
Yeah, no. So I'll give it a try in beta if I get access. We'll see.
So this is going to be interesting here, and this would actually make the guys over at Tech Syndicate happy.
What's that?
The White, at least I think I understand their position on this. We just had beers with them the other day. The White House apparently made a blog post laying out the current state of broadband in the U.S., and also the White House administration, at least, it feels that broadband is a core utility, the same as electricity, which would also create a governing body in terms of price gouging and data capping and things like that, correct? Because you can't cap how much electricity can be sent to your house. You can't throttle which parts of your house can get electricity and which can't because of special interests with the ISPs and stuff.
Right.
So I think this can go a couple of ways in terms of turning internet into a utility. One, you were going to have probably much slower speeds overall. I think a lot of the ISPs are going to...
Really?
I think a lot of the ISPs that are, let's say Time Warner, for instance.
All right.
300 by 20. It's not the fastest out there by any means. It's also not the slowest by any means. But I think if Time Warner's being forced to... Maybe that's a bad example, because Time Warner has no data caps. Okay, Comcast. Let's go to our favorite Comcast. Comcast loves to charge you an arm and a leg, at the same time say you can only get X amount of gigs or terabytes at this speed, and then you are completely throttled after that. Or throttle your speed to Netflix and YouTube and Hulu and Amazon streaming or whatever. Okay. And slow down your connection because they don't want you connecting to things that are wide bandwidth usage, like video streaming. Because as a whole, people would slow down the network. Making it a utility would mean that the ISP cannot do that. So that would be a good thing, in my opinion.
Right.
But once you start having a governing body over utilities, then you also introduce another layer of government controlling something that I think the people would push back on.
Yes.
So how do you navigate these waters? I have no idea. I don't even have a thought in my head as what would be the right solution.
Yeah, because it seems like there could be good from it, but yet, like you pointed out, when you put that kind of control in the government, that means we got the fear of Big Brother watching absolutely everything we do, or being able to do what they want.
The point of making something a utility like that is to have fairness, and at least the idea with the idea of the government utility, governing body would be to protect the end user, water pay, people paying for water, people paying for electricity, gas, from just being price gouged on something that is a necessity of life. You have to have
they
water.
already tried to do with the internet,
right? So the government would be like, no, you cannot raise your rates, and and the utility has to go to a council, and they have to plead their case and show why a rate increase needs to happen, and usually it's a temporary rate increase, which ends up never going back to where it was to begin with. But anyway, so they have to plead their case. It has to go to a vote with a council in most districts and counties for the price to go up. Right now, the ISPs can just do whatever they want.
Right, they do whatever they want. I mean, heck, I witnessed, you witnessed data caps or whatever, where even last year with me, up until January, I had full usage of my bandwidth, and then all of a sudden, I guess I was using too much upload, and no longer could I stream. It took them about 3 months to fix it. It just was a mess, and it turned out that someone capped my access because I was using too much. Yeah, and that's not supposed to be legal, but they did it. They do it all the time.
We see that the way utilities work, at least with most electricity, is you have a tiered system. Usually it's 4 or 5 tiers of usage. So if you only use XYZ, kilowatts of power, then you pay a nice low rate. If you bump into the next tier, then you pay the previous tier's rate plus a certain cents bump, and then it goes up and up to a max tier where it's just like this is the max you pay no matter what, but you're not limited to how much electricity or gas or water you can use.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this turns into a governed body or a governed entity of utility, where does the rate start? How does everyone get on the same page? And how do you determine where those rates move? See,
my goodness.
We've had now several decades of internet usage that's just been freely running amok.
Right.
Remember how we used to be on the hour system? Like you could have 200 hours of AOL. Remember that?
Yes. I used to collect the free sample CDs.
Yeah. Just make a new screen name every time.
Yeah, every time.
So you're like, I am apropos 1, I am apropos 2,
Yeah.
I am apropos 3.
I had a ton of them.
I've been there.
My goodness, it was horrible, and yeah, I can't even wrap my brain around how they would work that because it doesn't even. No, I don't.
Yeah.
What do you pay? A certain amount like cable, or I don't even know.
The other thing too is a lot of the ways you can get around. ISP snooping is VPNs and proxies. So how do you even deal with that? You know what I mean? It's not like you can VPN your electricity usage. I mean, some people have found ways to hack their smart meters and pay less, but it does happen. I'm not going to lie.
Install solar panels and sell it back.
Yeah, right. So actually, where I live, you can't sell it back to the utility.
What?
Yep. And also, where I live, if you're not connected to the grid, you're considered in an inhabitable structure. Yep. So even if you have if you have full offset of your energy needs with solar, you still have to pay the connect fee and the monthly minimum fee for the utility.
That's messed up.
And if you literally, some people have done it out here too, where to make a statement, they've gone in and like cut the power line from the pole, and then
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah, and then building and code enforcement comes and puts a red tag on your door.
Oh no! And your building is unoccupiable. You got to leave.
Yeah, exactly. It's happened.
That's messed up.
So,
wow.
Well, I just thought that was worth mentioning because I know Tech Syndicate's been a real vocal entity regarding ISP fairness and data caps and things like that. I'm just wondering, now that the White House is actually acknowledging this, now the time is a little bit scary as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, I agree with you.
Because I feel like I thought for the longest time everybody with broadband had unlimited data caps. I was so ignorant.
Really?
Until my
did?
Well, here's the thing. Before I started YouTube, I had broadband. It was like a 20 by 2, nothing big, but it was perfect for Counter-Strike and whatever else I did. It wasn't until I started YouTube and started really getting to talk to people all around the world and the country that I realized, wow, what do you mean you have a data cap? What is this shit? I haven't had a data cap since AOL and did the minutes, And everyone on Comcast and Cox, they're all like, no, we've got like 250 gigs before we're cut off or whatever. It's like, you're kidding me.
Right. I remember it was really bad. It used to be so low too. You couldn't get away with I would download game or something.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Download music.
Well, isn't that the other part of it now with games being all digitized?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I want to download Grand Theft Auto 5. It's 62 gigabytes of my 250 gigabyte data cap.
No, that would ruin. Oh my goodness.
Or how about Windows?
Titanfall?
Or how about Windows' automatic updates downloading who knows how much every freaking day practically?
You don't use it all month, and right at the end, I got to download this new game. Nope, you can't. Your Windows updates just screwed you over.
Your kid falls asleep on YouTube with autoplay on.
No. Oh my goodness, nightmare.
So of course the selfish side of me is like, but I'm on $99 a month and I'm getting unlimited 300 meg. I don't want you to touch my internet. I don't want it to be a utility right now.
Right? No.
I want to move someplace where it sucks and then bitch and whine that it needs to be a utility. Because that's
what, Australia?
Oh, we don't mention Australia. Those guys, man. Even the internet tries to kill you in Australia.
Oh my! I was just gonna say the land of where everything tries to kill you as soon as you get off the plane.
Even the atmosphere is trying to kill you in Australia. There's a big hole up there. It's like,
Oh,
what-
man.
what is happening? It's like
Oh, my
it's like
goodness.
kangaroo boxing is like a prime time thing out there. Like, I'm
Dude,
not-
there's a Netflix show that scares the hell out of me. I don't watch it. I go through the menu and I see it and I'm like 72 most dangerous creatures in the world, Australia. And I'm like, yeah, nope. I'm good.
it's like number 72 through 2 is Australian things, and then number 1 is like the United States. It's the most dangerous thing to Australia. No, PC pricing. That's it. PC pricing is the most dangerous thing to Australia. Have you seen how expensive PC parts are in Australia?
Oh, no. There's a few people in the community that we talk about PC parts, Punk Poets and Shimikins and others. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why is it so expensive over there?
Because everything's trying to kill you. You know what the truck drivers have to do to get something from the port into the mainland?
The delivery guys are like, hell no, we don't get paid enough.
That's my guess. There's a
They're
reason
trying
why
to
that.
smuggle it in.
There's a reason why the big rig trucks out there are like 4 times as big as they are here in the United States.
They look
gotta
like
make
they're
less
driving
trips.
Mad Max trucks. It's all penalized.
They've got to go over to New Queensland. They're like, fuck this. We're not going over here.
I'm seeing multiple complaints about my mic.
It sounds okay to me. I did an audio test and listened back to it before. Let me turn it down a bit. Okay. Anyway, that'll have to do.
All right. Well, I just went and listened to it real quick, and it sounds good
Yeah.
to me over there.
No,
Sorry.
there might even be some people from Australia like, why you gotta be, dissing on the Aussies? No, I had a friend from New Zealand, and this is like his own words I'm regurgitating here. So, and he was also a rally driver.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny too. I'll never forget this guy. When I first met him, I learned right away, you don't assume because something sounds British that it's British.
Oh yeah.
Now I know better now, and I can pick out the accent between New Zealand, Australia, and England and South Africa pretty well.
Really?
Okay.
You can split them all up?
Oh, I can split them all up now.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I can't do. I can split up like the Australian, New Zealand as a one, and
Yeah.
then versus the UK. I can split those two up, but
Well,
New Zealand and Australia, no, I don't. I'm not that good yet.
well, because the first time I met this guy, we were talking for a bit, and I asked him. I didn't even make it. I made an assumption here.
Okay.
I just assumed he was from the UK, so I asked. I was like, "So what part of the UK are you from?" He's like, "I'm not from the fucking UK." I was like, "Whoa!" He was like, "I'm from." No, I was like, "Australia." He's like, "New Zealand, you motherfucker." And I was like, "Wow!" He just like went off on me. Because it's funny. Think about it this way.
Supposed to know?
No, but it's funny because I assumed he's from the UK and he got mad, and then I went to Australia. That made him even madder because he was from New Zealand, which he takes very seriously.
Obviously. Holy cow.
I'll never forget it. And the way he said, I'm not even going to try and do his Aussie accent, but he did it like, he sounded just like, the Crocodile Hunter told me off. It was the funniest
Look over
thing.
there. It's the
Crikey, I ain't from
most
UK, you fucking...
It's the most dangerous PC tech YouTuber ever.
Yeah, it was
Well,
kinda like
pumpkin in the bum.
It was like Jason Statham was cussing me out. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh my god, the mental picture of him.
Yeah. What's funny too is he even wore like maybe this is just how oblivious I am. He was even wearing like one of those safari hats, like
Oh,
you would
no.
see somebody wearing
he
down in
really?
like the bush. What do they call it? The bush? I don't know. I just thought maybe he really liked girls. All right, let's go ahead and head on over to Ask Tech Talk before we
What?
derail too much farther.
I was
here.
actually looking at. Oh my god.
Why don't you answer that one from Sammy Larson?
Wait, where? What? Where am I looking?
Hashtag Ask Tech Talk. All right, I'll do
Derp.
it. He says,
Ask-
Ask Tech Talk. Paul, will you ever upgrade to an Intel CPU?
I have an Intel CPU.
You have an AMD and an Intel system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife's system, it runs an Intel CPU, and I currently run an AMD CPU, though I would like to get a test bench with a nice, I don't know if I want an X99 CPU test bench just for graphics cards and to get rid of any bottleneck or whatever, but
Yeah.
we'll see. But that I would like to, yes.
That's why my test bench is on an X99, because the way I look at it, and I've taken a lot of flack in the beginning when I built this test rig, but I think people have kind of chilled out a little bit, where they're like, why don't you build a system that's closer to what the average person is going to use? Put like an i5 or something in there. But the problem is, if I take a graphics card and overclock it and put it in an i5 system and then put it in an i7, mainstream system, and I see any sort of improvement, obviously then I wouldn't call it a bottleneck, but I would call there being CPU influence on the overall potential of the GPU.
Yeah.
And then if I take that same GPU and put it in an X99 overclock system,
There's
and
still
I see even
improvement.
more improvement, then I'm looking at it this way. We are introducing variable factors into the GPU that slows it down. So right now with the 5930K in the test bench, overclocked to 4.4, I've gotten to the point to where the GPU is completely unhindered. So
Exactly.
in
That's
order to
where I
test
want to
it,
be.
yeah, and to test the GPU to its full potential, you can't have anything influencing how far it can go in terms of
Right.
FPS.
And that way, also, you put in the disclaimer, your mileage may vary depending on the CPU you use and or the games you're playing, because we all know, like, Blizzard games are very CPU, the word, CPU,
What?
they like CPU. You will get better performance on Intel CPUs versus AMD CPUs on Blizzard games, such as like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. So your graphics card,
That's starting to hold true in a lot of modern titles, though.
it is, and so that's why, like, right now I'm test reviewing the R7 360 and the R7 370 for Sapphire, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to put a big disclaimer in there because I'm using the 9570, the high-end AMD chip.
9590, I believe.
Right. And so it's going to be different if someone uses a 4300 or a 6300 or an i5.
It's going
and
to
so
be.
it's going to be. So I'm going to have to put that in there. Hey, your mileage is going to vary depending on the CPU you use and the game you play. So I'm going to, bench it in a few games. But long story short, yes, I plan on building another system. It's going to be Intel.
It's starting to become harder for me to recommend AMD CPUs for budget games, only because I know that the new development path that gamers or game developers are using now and really utilizing multi-threaded performance. What's really holding back the Bulldozer and newer CPUs that use the multi-core technology from 2011 forward, they all use shared cache. They all have shared L2 cache, and that's what's slowing down the CPUs. Really, is you have two cores having to share the cache, and so that's proving over time now to where it's really starting to age.
It's getting long in the tooth, as they would say.
Yeah, so it's just becoming harder every month that goes by. It's like, well, it really depends on where games are going. And DX12 is going to help, but it can only help so much.
Right. Well, and I will say, people ask me all the time, "Hey, how does your AMD system hold up versus, let's say, an i5?" Well, that's where I was talking about how it depends on the games you're playing, right? My wife runs an i5 system. Like I said, I run the AMD system. I run an R9 290X typically in my system. She runs an R9 285, right? In games like Guild Wars 2,
That almost seems backwards.
kinda. Wait, why?
No, it almost seems like you would put the faster GPU on the faster machine with the faster CPU.
Well, here's the thing. She gets better frame rate than I do in Guild Wars 2 and MMORPGs in general.
Right, because it's all CPU-bound games.
Yep. And I'm sitting there like, I'm chugging? What?
Yeah.
It frustrates me a little bit.
It's kind of annoying when like in Minecraft I see it now since I shouted out the server I play on and it's become overpopulated.
Right.
I see in chat 56,000 times an hour. OMG, Jay, how many FPS are you getting with those 3 Titan X's? It's like, one, Minecraft doesn't use SLI.
No.
It's Java-based game. It's not using any sort of rendering engine for GPU power. 2, my GPU that it is using kind of like flutters around doing its own thing because until I enabled shaders, it didn't even care that I turned on the game. It was like, derp, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. CPU, you handle it. And the CPU sits at like 6% usage in Minecraft. But the moment I turn on shaders, then that one GPU will go to its max overclock and just sit there. But if SLI was being utilized, then I would have a lot of fun with the shaders. But again, this has to do with the way the game is written, not which graphics cards you put in there. So I feel bad because I can't respond to all these people, but I see people saying, I'm going to buy SLI this and this, or Crossfire this and this. That way I can run shaders. And it's like, you're about to have a very bad day.
Yeah, you're gonna be very disappointed.
You're gonna
like,
spend
oh,
all
my
that
money.
You're gonna spend all that money and see that it's not making a difference.
Right.
But now if you play World of Warcraft, the only thing that having a higher end GPU would do for you would say being able to bump up that shade quality.
Right.
Because the shaders in the GPU are handling like the shadows and stuff in the game. But other than
True.
that, all those players running around doing things, that's all CPU having to
CPU,
decode
man.
what the internet's telling the game is happening, not
Yep.
GPU.
As soon as you get towards any big city where there's a lot of people, your CPU is gonna give you the performance difference. You'll either be like, oh god, it's stuttering like crazy, or
Yeah.
you'll be running through smooth.
How many of my World of Warcraft players out there remember back in Cataclysm, like going into Ogrimmar, it was like 4
Oh my
FPS,
God.
no matter how big your system was.
$10,000 system.
But no. Here is the thing. Actually, in all honesty, here, Ogrimmar, when it had probably 100 players in it,
Yeah.
the FPS for me with a high-end system still never dropped below wherever I set VSync to, which was 60 at the time. But the gameplay got choppy because the CPU was having to decode all of that player data.
Right.
Because here's the way it works. Your game is having to take the data that the server is sending to the computer saying, this player is wearing this gear and is at this location. This player's here, this player's here, this player's here. And your computer's having to send back only one piece of data saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Now, your computer has to take all that information and decode it constantly as the players are moving around, touching different things, grabbing things, interacting with the environment. So the server is having to tell your computer, this animal was just killed, this player just mounted up, this player is going here, this player just teleported, this player just killed this player. And it's the CPU that has to handle all of that. So GPU has a lot of headroom there if game developers start figuring out a way to leverage some of that. And you know what's...
Oh, joke.
And what's funny is people gave a shit for Jerry and I talking too much about AMD last week, but AMD was the only company I've had meetings with that has told me we want to leverage all the CPUs in a system not being used, where they want to develop APIs where your GPU is not doing anything can start to take on some of the workload off the CPU.
That would be amazing.
Even your sound card processor in there could be used for something.
That'd be amazing.
They looked at it like, and this was about a year and a half ago. We had this meeting where they looked at it like there is potential in your system that is not being leveraged.
Oh
But
yeah, you can see it.
But you need to get the game developers on board though, because if the API is there, if they're not using the API, what's the point?
Exactly.
So, all right. But anyway, moving on. I would like to see that in the future where GPUs are like, imagine you have 3 GPUs. Okay, maybe you don't want to use them in SLI. Maybe you want GPU to handle shadows and shaders and all that stuff. Maybe you want GPU to handle all the decoding of this bit of information, and GPU 3,
So cool.
whatever. You would have just
Extra power.
linear and wide processing power at your fingertips.
My goodness, could you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine right now I'm playing Minecraft on Skunkworks, and it feels very dirty.
This just feels wrong.
Even playing Payday on it feels dirty.
Did you look like you were having some fun?
Oh, I loved Payday 1. I played it with Coconut Monkey.
Yeah.
Payday 2 has been a lot of fun. Usually because if you were watching it last night, man, we just like,
bit, yeah.
we're like derp-tastic. We're like, oh, all right, well, 4th time's the charm. We'll do it. Or I finally get the car and go into the tunnel. It flips upside down and doesn't flip back over. And we were finally going to beat that mission.
Oh my goodness. I was sitting there, I was kind of worried because for months now you haven't gamed at all. You've been all work and
Dude,
just,
it's
doing
been
your
like a year
biking
and a half.
stuff. It's been a while, dude. And so I'm like, man, Jay needs to get some gaming going on. And finally seeing you game,
Yeah.
you looked happy, you were having fun. It was awesome.
Jay disappeared from the gaming scene entirely.
Yes, you did. I mean, heck,
remember when I went full time too, it became like very brass tacks,
Right. Well, we gamed a few times. You'd come and hang out with us on Fridays. We do the Friday thing, and you'd play with us and
But
stuff.
I
We
wasn't
had a
even
good
playing
time.
Battlefield anymore. Like,
Yeah,
at
you
all.
weren't playing anything.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Jay's gonna burn out. We need him gaming. Gaming Jay is fun, Jay.
Someone tweeted me and asked me what I should talk about the 980s for notebooks. I already did at the beginning of the stream. I will be doing a comparison video on that, by the way, if you guys are curious. So Nvidia took full-blown 980,
Okay.
not just the core and stripped it down and plugged it into the motherboard somewhere in there, and they called it a 980M. No, it's full on 980 with all of its RAM, all of its RAM speed, all of its core speed, all of its VRMs. Everything is in there. So when you take a 980 notebook and you put it next to a CPU tower with a discrete 980 and you run speed test, or not speed test, but like Firestrike or whatever, side by side,
Benchmarks.
you are getting like identical numbers between the
Really?
two. We were talking like within a couple of 100 points, and sometimes the notebook beat the desktop.
What?
And overclockable, completely unlocked and overclockable, along with the CPU. So,
oh my God.
So I was playing with a notebook. Like I've got my G751JK over here, which is an i7 with 4-core with hyperthreading, so 8 threads, and a 980M, which is nice and all, but I can't overclock it or anything. So we had a notebook overclocked with a 980 that we put up to 1400 and I think 80 megahertz was where it crashed in the notebook.
What?
And temperatures were still sitting at 81 degrees Celsius on the core. Of course, the CPU fans were like going crazy, but if you want to sacrifice acoustics for speed, you can do it.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Sorry, guys, I forget this microphone's very sensitive at times.
Holy crap.
I could turn off the minus dB gain. Like, how's that?
Oh my God.
Is that loud? All right, I'll put it back.
No, I can imagine that the fans in that thing were just going nuts. But
Yeah.
good God, that's going to be an impressive. That is an impressive system.
RedZ28 in YouTube chat asked if there was any heat problems. Okay, so
Don't put it on your lap if you're going to do that.
oh God, no! You're sterile for life. So I asked that specific question, and here's the thing. Of course, Nvidia manufactures the board that can be soldered into the PCB for a notebook. So the rest of the notebook is up to the manufacturer. Now the manufacturer is going to be launching these things, and actually they announced this on the 22nd. And later this month is when I'm supposed to be getting my test unit. They're being handled by Clevo, MSI. I don't think Sega was one of them. See, Clevo, MSI, Asus, that water-cooled unit from laptop we looked at a couple weeks back that pictures were leaked up, that's one of the units with a 980 in it. There was like 3 or 4 brands. They all had a different approach. Some had a very big, very heavy gaming laptop approach to it, like my G751.
Yeah, which is heavy.
Oh, but then Aorus was the other brand. Aorus, which is a gigabyte.
Okay.
They took a very thin form factor where it wasn't much thicker than, say, a Razer. A Razer
What?
blade.
With a 980 in it?
With a 980 in it. But you didn't have as much perimeter to play with in terms of the overclocking, and the CPU overclocking was locked down because there was less cooling.
That's such a small profiled rig.
It's not that small. It's a little bit thicker, but it's closer to the size of a Razer than, say, my Asus notebook.
Wow. But the Asus notebook that's quite
right. But a lot of these notebooks too are coming with 4K panels in them.
Oh wow!
Because of the power. I still don't think a single 980 is good enough for 4K. We've already established this.
Yeah, no. But
you can set up profiles where movies and stuff can play at 4K, and then games can load up at 1080.
There you go.
And 1080 native on a 4K resolution screen looks just like 1080. There's no degradation in pixels because it's a square pixel.
Right. Beautiful.
So it looks great.
It's a pretty cool system.
See anything you want to answer?
I need to get one for PDX LAN.
I thought about bringing a laptop to PDX. The problem is a laptop can easily be snatched.
Yanked. Yeah, no bueno.
I'm building an ITX rig for it, one that I can put in my Pelican case and bring as another bag.
Very nice. I still have no clue what I'm going to do for a system. I'm just like, I'm not sure.
That's the hard part about these lands. Most of these people at PDX either drove in from a state or two away,
right,
or are local.
That makes sense. Well, it looks like from the roster I'm seeing, a lot of them are coming from out of state.
Yeah. This particular one we're going to is not traditional PDX LAN. There's not going to be any vendors or anything there, and there will be alcohol there.
There's not going to be vendors?
No.
Wait a minute.
There's no vendors in November.
There's going to be alcohol?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. It's also half as big. It's like 250 people versus 500, and there's actually alcohol in this one.
The roster seat I'm seeing says about 500. 440 something seats sold.
Is there that many? Because they told me, at least Sapphire Ed told me that the one in November is like half the size.
Yeah, no. The seating chart says about almost 500 seats sold out. But then, okay, I asked one person, they said no alcohol in the event, but then if you read the description of it, you can't bring alcohol in.
Right.
No outside alcohol. I'm like, interesting.
This is my first time there, but I was told that this is a more adult-oriented event where the other PDXs, there were kids and stuff there too. Not a lot, but some kids.
Right.
Where this one's supposed to be all like 21 and over or something like that.
Interesting. Did not know this.
I don't know. It's my first time going to November, which is apparently way different.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a list of internet personalities that are going to be there, from what I see.
I have noticed this.
It's going to be very cool. I'm excited to finally meet, especially you and Jerry, face to face. It's been a long time coming.
It's going to be an interesting experience. All right. Oh no, but you get to meet Biggins.
Oh God!
I've already had the pleasure of meeting Biggins.
There's going to be things that might be broken when that interaction happens.
Just make sure you're sitting like I was.
Wait, that puts things in a proximity I'm not sure I'm comfortable being. Because he's a tall dude, right? So if I'm sitting,
oh yeah, I think for me it was like crotch to shoulder.
oh,
He's pretty tall.
nice. Oh, this is fun. What's going on?
All right.
Yeah, everybody's been warning me, and I mean, I've been hearing this warning since we've talked months ago about me possibly going to this one, and now that it's coming to fruition, I'm like, fruition?
Flourishing.
It's
Flourishing into fruition.
Fruition. There you're English. I'm now slightly starting to get a little worried about Biggins. Like,
Yeah.
should I get him before he gets me, or?
Okay, so I'm looking at some questions here on Ask TikTok. Hellbeast58 says, when do you think a larger company will purchase AMD, and what do you think? And do you think ATI will survive for GPUs?
Interesting. We have not too long ago there was talks about Samsung buying AMD.
I feel like
That
that was just a rumor mill churning away.
You think so?
Well, okay. You're aware of the strategic reformatting of the graphics division in AMD, right?
Right.
Okay, and they actually have somebody at the helm of graphics now.
Right.
You know this, yeah.
Right.
Doctor,
Yes.
what was his name? Doctor what?
Ah.
Anyway, he's also worked at Apple and had a lot to do with very, very successful Apple projects. And this guy now is running the graphics division for AMD, which has been restructured and technically sort of positioned to break off from AMD. So the rumor for me, and this is all speculation, is two things might happen here. One, the rumor maybe was never that Samsung was interested in AMD. Maybe they were interested in the Radeon division. We're not going to call it ATI because it doesn't go by ATI anymore. Radeon is the name of the graphics division.
Right.
Maybe Samsung was interested in Radeon. Because you can't buy something without leadership. You can't have anything successful without leadership. And there's now leadership in Radeon where there wasn't so much before. I mean, you had like Richard Huddy, but he was an engineer.
Right, and he was more of like a marketing kind of hype, get the word out there type of deal.
Marketing people are the worst people to run a company. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that right now, and I don't care what the company is. This is not an AMD thing. This is any company. Marketers are terrible at managing a company. You need
plus,
somebody
you're not going to get the realistic expectations of what products they're going to be putting out because it's just all hype.
So there was a lot of rumors there with AMD spins off Radeon Graphics into new division. Even Engadget posted on this, but I'm looking for the name of the guy who took over.
Think of it off the top of my head.
Kaduri, Dr. Kaduri.
Oh, right. Roger Kaduri.
Yeah. Now he's got quite the portfolio that goes along with his career. And he's been very successful at pretty much anything he's touched. And he even, like I said, he even worked at Apple for a while there. And it's looking like, and I've said this, I said it last week, I want this to be true. I want him to have the power to do what it takes to keep this division alive and kicking. Because although Fury was great, I think we need more. We need more than Fury right now.
We need Fury size with massive amounts more power. That's what I want.
Yeah, more performance, not necessarily more power, right?
No, performance. Sorry, yes. Let me thank you for rephrasing that. No, I don't need to use a 1200 watt power supply for one card.
Oh, that's what it was. He was in charge of the Raja Kaduri. He was in charge of the Apple Retina program, the Retina display.
Oh.
So yeah, he's back. He's now heading up the Radeon graphics division.
That actually, because of that gives me hope for where they're going and what they're going to be able to do in the future. That's exciting. But in conjunction with, is Samsung interested in that, or were they interested in AMD?
I really feel like Samsung's much more interested in the graphics.
Why would that be? Because they would be able to compete with the alternative where they have like what, Nvidia in their tablets and stuff like that?
I think if we were to take a look, and I haven't researched it, although this is public information and I should, in terms of the finances. I think if we looked at AMD's finances as a whole, I think we'd find the only semi-profitable division in the company is graphics.
You think?
If I were Samsung,
That would be a good assumption, yeah.
If I were Samsung, would I be interested in buying old, outdated hardware manufacturing processes for CPUs when Samsung is already a microchip manufacturer themselves?
Ah.
But they're not a graphics chip manufacturer.
Mind blown.
This is just all of my fascination with business since I was a kid, thinking here, not necessarily any insider information or thinking too far into it.
If people have been following you for a while and they see some of your insights to what possibly could be going on, how many of those predictions have come true?
Like most of them.
Most of them.
And the ones that weren't true were like in the ballpark.
Right,
of where
really,
things
really
went.
close. You're like, well, it was, could have.
I love business. There's two things that I love to research and not necessarily talk about with people, because these are both subjects that tend to really bring out passion in people. One is capital. I can't even say the word right now. Okay,
I'm affecting your speech.
I know. Okay,
It's like that all day.
we'll just say business strategy and
Okay.
politics, and the
Ooh,
two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So there's
Stay
been a lot
on
of
that politics
politics.
talk.
There's been a lot of politics and a lot of business going on in AMD. So
Yep.
that's just my prediction, is that AMD was probably approached, or maybe even approached someone about the idea of like, hey, back in 9 years ago, we bought this thing here, and we're wondering if maybe you might like to own this thing here. And the other party goes, well, we'd like to own this thing, but let's go ahead and see what your business model and structure is. And it's like, well, in that amount of time, we had like 4 new CEOs.
Split.
And,
Put them over there.
so I feel like it went, well, if you can get things structured and you can prove that this is going to be something that we're interested in turnkey buying, not buying to restructure, but
Nope.
something we're going to buy that's successful,
We can work with now.
then
Yes.
we'll talk. And I think this might be that.
That makes sense.
And
But-
then AMD will take the money by selling off, or even selling maybe a majority ownership of Radeon,
Right.
not necessarily the whole thing. And then they're going to take that money and try and rebuild their microprocessor division.
Uh-huh. But didn't AMD just lose someone that was part of the whole rebuilding that section?
Did
Did he leave just recently?
Are
know what I'm talking
Are you
about?
referring to the Twitter account that's no longer there?
No.
Okay.
No. My brain, I'm like hoping you had the name in your head, because my brain knows that someone left the company, but it tells me that they were done doing the job that they were doing for the whole CPU, APU side of things. And my brain can't tell me the name. Maybe you
I'm
guys
gonna see if I
tell
can
us.
find it. And guys, I'm
You
sorry.
know
if
what I'm
don't-
talking
I'm
about,
sorry
right?
if you guys don't like the AMD talk, but as a PC enthusiast myself, this is a big deal.
It's a big
This
deal.
is a big deal. Are you
And
talking
AMD has
about
been a
Jim
part
Keller?
of my life for, I believe so, yes.
Jim Keller
It-
leaves AMD. This is according to Anantech.
Right?
So
Yeah, they lost
you,
Jim
you,
Keller.
You,
Yeah.
you talk about something while I read this article real quick.
Hi.
Why don't you go to Ask Tech Talk
I'm going.
and
Okay,
just
so-
give me 2 minutes to read this.
Okay, so let's find something here. How was your day? My day was good, thank you. Frumpy Turtle posts, PC Gamer, Gordon Freeman is dead, and you won't believe what killed him. Hint, it was Australia.
That's about right.
He flew there. He had a layover by mistake. Oops. So, the JayzTwoCents forums, how have they been doing? Someone said to shout that out. I keep trying to get over there, and I'll post something, then I have my own, right? And I
You have
barely have time to get to mine. I'm like, I'd like try, but I hope to see
No,
you all over there.
One of the reasons why the forums right now are not getting the attention that they deserve is because a lot of the back end on the website had to be destroyed. I don't know if you guys noticed, the front end
Really?
page is no longer there. It got hacked hard.
Oh,
and it got
how
hacked
did
to
I
the
miss this?
it got hacked to the point to where there was scripts embedded deep into the website, like in some of the strangest folders and files that were sending out about 17,000 spam emails an hour.
Oh Lord.
So because of that, we've had to practically take down and limit our email server to where emails are extremely limited, which is why right now people aren't getting their authentication email to sign up on the forum.
Oh no.
So there's
Well,
a major revamping process, and the other problem is one of the folks over at Leap who's been helping me run this server is dealing with some family stuff right now, so he's taking a leave of absence at the moment.
Gotcha.
So it's like I'm kind of stuck in limbo right here too, with not being able to
Right.
communicate with the guy who's helping me with the mail stuff. So
Gotcha.
yeah. But anyway,
But it's still pretty active for the ones that are on there, right?
they are. I just need because I took out the website. I was like, you know what? I'm
Done.
JK Software is my dev. You know that.
Yeah, he's mine too.
And he's been like having to track down these infected files constantly. We think we fix it, and then it kept going out, and to where the emails kept going out. We were getting blacklisted on Google. That was the problem.
Oh no.
Google was blacklisting us, where you go to JayzTwoCents.com and it was coming up as a malicious site.
Right.
So I finally told JK Software, I was like, just
Get rid
redirect to the forums and obliterate the front page, and we'll start all
my
over.
goodness.
Since I've done that, I haven't gotten the emails turned back on for the notifications. So that's all I'm waiting
Gotcha.
on.
We got asked by Acids Designs.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Tech Talk, what games are you most excited for this year? Paul and Jay.
Minecraft.
He's really into it right now.
No, that's a joke because I'm 6 years late, and like I was saying earlier, like, hey, Minecraft, this is so awesome. You guys should check this out. They're like, Jay, we know Minecraft's
Right?
over. We don't
Well,
play Minecraft anymore.
I just started playing it this year too, and man, when I first got in, I was like, "What?" Okay, I'll be honest, and I frequently apologize for this because I used to be very brutal against Minecraft players. Like,
Yeah.
not to the point where they're not real gamers, but that to me was like child's play versus a real man's game, is what I used to say, and I feel really bad about doing that now because it is a fantastic game,
Right.
and I just started playing it this year, and I'm like, the possibilities I can come up with, oh my god, so excited about it. But for me, looking forward to, I'm a Call of Duty player, love Call of Duty, love Battlefield.
Right.
I'm looking forward to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I played the beta, that's one thing I'm looking forward to, and I really enjoyed it versus the previous two launches from other developers that I think need to take notes from Treyarch, because Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, you're losing connection with your base fan, and I think they need to, Black Ops, love it.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm done reading this article, and
Okay.
I found a joke in there I thought was kind of funny. So, all right, so Jim Keller. Actually, I'm a little sad now. Jim Keller was like their ace up their sleeve because
Yes.
we actually talked about Jim Keller in that same phone call I told you about, where they were talking about leveraging other CPUs and GPUs in the system that aren't being used. And one of the names that they kept putting out there was Jim Keller. I just forgot the name. Where
Right.
we've got this was like last year. They're like, we've got Jim Keller back. Jim Keller was the guy who helped us develop the x64 bit or the x86 64-bit microarchitecture, and Jim Keller was the reason why AMD was beating Intel back in the Pentium days.
Yes.
He was rehired in 2012 to come in and redevelop their CPU architecture, because obviously Bulldozer and using cut-down server CPUs was not working.
Nope.
So he was involved in the Zen project. So the big question is, okay, he left as of the 18th of September. And obviously the big question is, what does this mean for Zen? Well, AMD's official statement is the roadmap is unchanged. Zen is still coming 2016, et cetera, et cetera.
So could it have been that he got done developing what he was there for?
The same reason why any CEO leaves a company. Someone comes in. If he was a contractor, then that would make sense. They would have never called it a rehire. If he was, they would just said that he was involved in the project, if that were the case.
Right.
The other thing is maybe things going on behind closed boardroom doors in AMD aren't looking so pretty, and he was like, you know what?
I'm out.
Or a better offer came somewhere else that AMD couldn't match.
Right.
That's possible. But here's the thing. If Zen comes
never know.
out and it's on top because Jim Keller came in and did his thing that he was known to do,
Right.
what does it mean for the future of Zen if he's no longer there? Because the last time he left, look where AMD ended up.
Well,
These
hopefully
are-
Zen's awesome and he comes back in about, what, 4 or 5 years?
I feel like winter is coming for AMD if they don't get things together. That's a Game of Thrones reference there, if you know what I mean. Winter is coming.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It makes me a little worried. I mean, you see people leaving and you're just like, and for, a couple years, I'm big rah-rah AMD, promote, because I believe in what they like to do for the community and I believed in the product. And then I'm like, okay, I start seeing stuff like this happen. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? This scares me a little bit. We need them around. We need the competition, and we need it to be competition.
Oh, we do. We need them around. Little J Systems and AMD. The wife's desktop is an AMD.
Yeah.
Oh,
Need it.
man.
So,
So, no, what I was laughing at about that article was the CTO, which is Chief Technology Officer within AMD, that's now heading up the CPU division. His name is Mark Papermaster, and I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to head up the paper releases. Because remember, hard OCP's rant about AMD and their paper release, and him calling it a paper release. So I was like, oh, we got Paper Master here, head up the paper release division. Whatever. I don't. We need them around. We do.
We do. Competition is good for consumers.
Yeah.
Very good for consumers.
No, I thought the direction you were going was like what happened to AMD Roy's Twitter. That's kind of been like, everyone's like, what is happening?
Yeah, nobody said nothing about it, so
that's the worst thing, I think.
Well, we've seen experiences where people within the community have either deleted tweets to try to cover things,
but not delete entire Twitter accounts with 200,000 followers.
Yeah, whoa, that's like, whew. Maybe someone somewhere said enough's enough. This has happened a couple times. I don't know.
Yeah, that was my thing. And I can see how things can be taken out of context.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of what happened there was out of context, but at the same time, there was multiple other tweets there that kind of put it back into context.
Right.
That's why I don't have my Nano. I gave my Nano to the Tech Report to do what they need to do with it.
Right.
And AMD wasn't happy with me about that, so it doesn't matter to me. It's like I trust Scott Wasson to do what needs to be done with that card.
How long have we trusted his reviews for how many years for him to do? Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I'm ready to see it.
But I think you're right, though. I think enough fallout happened, and for me, the issue that bugged me about the concept of fairness, because let's be honest here, I've been pegged by not only some folks at AMD, but also my own audience as being like, Jay, you're such an Nvidia fanboy. And
but you are. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, no, my blood is red, not green. But anyway, no. I like to build with Nvidia stuff because I've always had good luck with Nvidia since the early 2000s, and I've had plenty of AMD systems. But the thing is that if that was the case, why would they send me one?
Right. Well, like you've always stated, you've really tried very, very hard throughout your lifespan of your channel you favor Nvidia, but you've done really good at being unbiased as much as you could with your reviews for both sides. And it shows because some of your reviews show that, one beats the other and vice versa. And you've always talked about the theory of why you think certain things are going good for one brand or the other.
Right.
But what's funny is when you have driver issues.
I've had driver issues really bad lately.
So it's like, but you're still an Nvidia fan, but yet your reviews.
Look, I'm the first. You ready for this? On last Friday, when I was at the Nvidia meeting, they were like, "So how you liking this and this and this?" And I was like, "Oh, I really like it, but your drivers fucking suck." And
your drivers suck.
They were like, "Now here's the thing. It wasn't just like BDR, Brian Del Rizzo, who's lead marketer for GeForce team."
Right.
He had 3 other engineers there, and they also had what JJ does for Asus. They had 2 of those guys there from Nvidia's entire division, graphics engineering division, and they were like, "So how are you liking such and such?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, your graphics suck," and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me tell you why they suck." I'm like, "If you've got more than one panel that's a different resolution, game over."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, maybe I fall into the category of folks that are running 3 water-cooled GTX Titan X is overclocked with a 21 by 9 1440p, a standard 1440p flanked by two 1080p 144 hertz panels, maybe then I'm in a small category, but
Yes.
I am in a category nonetheless, and this is my experience with it. So
It was horrible.
because I get a lot of like my left monitor over here likes to turn off on its own, just like boop.
Just what?
Every now and then my right monitor will turn off and then turn back on and say that it's getting a low resolution signal from the GPU, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. So yeah, anyone that tells me I'm an Nvidia fanboy, how many of them would tell right to their face their drivers suck? In person, that was the best part.
Most people, especially with the YouTube Check channel, would be scared to death to do so because, oh, there goes all my review samples.
Remember, I'm the guy that in person had to show them my previous Titan videos before I could get them to agree to send me these, and then tell them what I plan to do with it.
Yeah, no, that's when people, because it's people, oh yeah, no, Jay's a fanboy. Yeah, he favors them, and I'm like, but go look at these reviews.
No, I favor them for my builds, but
Right.
it doesn't mean I favor them over any other options when it comes to other people. I don't try and sway people to a certain. In fact, I told Jacob with EVGA that I feel very dirty if I recommend a 970 over a 390, or when it comes to current pricing.
It's hard, man. You're just like, well,
Yeah.
what games are you playing? 'Cause it's
Yeah.
tough. The pricing is very, very competitive right now.
Yeah, well, that's the weird thing about pricing is some of the pricing seems to be kind of out in left field, like $399, $349. No, $349 is not too bad, but like $449.
Yeah,
There's
what
some.
the heck?
It's like, what the heck? What category
Why-
are you in? Who are you comparing yourself to? $50 more, you can get this. $50 less, you can get that. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I had such a headache when I was doing computer build consultation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we first met. That's what I was doing. I was done with that. I had to keep up daily. I had price trackers come in the email and all this other stuff that I was trying to keep up with so that I can make sure I'd help people find the right prices. If I couldn't handle, no, I'm done with
Yeah.
that. No, I'll be like, okay, what's your price range? Here, go to PC Part Picker and go check
Yeah.
out. There you go. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Kleenex Pillows asked me when I'm going to make the video comparing the water coolers I ordered. I didn't order them; they were actually just sent to me.
Nice.
And I'm going to be comparing them with the EK Waterblocks Predator 240. So we're going to do like a all-in-one 240 shootout.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. One of the reasons why I've been waiting a little bit here is I am backed up, and that's not a poop joke. I am probably 15 reviews behind schedule.
Oh my God.
Right now. So and I look at it this way. What are my two options here? Rush through them, which I don't necessarily want to do.
You would have a heart attack if you did that. You'd just be like, I didn't know. It needs to be.
Or-
yeah, freak out.
Or do like a video a day for the next 3 weeks, which I don't want to do either, because that 3 weeks would probably make me need a vacation and take a month off. So,
Well, then, hey, you'll be at PDX.
we're like a month and a week away. Month and 2 weeks.
Yep.
A month and a half. Yeah.
I don't.
I still don't even know the logistics of that. Like I don't
I've
even
never-
know. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna fly to Jerry and drive down with him again like last time, or if I'm gonna drive straight or fly straight to Portland. I was originally gonna drive and take Skunkworks with me, and I kind of decided, fuck that. I'm not taking this 82-pound machine with.
Good God.
But I would like. It would have been nice to drive up there.
That would be really cool because some of your fans could then take pictures with you with it, and that kind of stuff would be pretty awesome to be able to show off in person. Most people would never get to see it in person.
It's a 15-hour drive, and nobody local here is going to be able to make the trip with me because it would be 2 days of drive time to get up there,
Yep.
4 days there.
There was
2
the
days
small
back.
talk we had about me flying to you. My wife would fly to the hotel, and then we would drive up together. But yeah,
Yeah, you see, even that, like
Ugh.
on paper, it sounds good, but you still have the problems with getting your system wherever.
yeah, I'm talking with like Josh and some other people to figure out possible logistics of a system that I can use while I'm there.
Yeah.
Maybe promote them with video and whatever I'm doing or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if not, then I'm just gonna be going around and recording little interviews with people and having fun.
I've seen a lot of people like, well, just bring Coconut Monkey with you, guys. He's in the middle of university during
Right.
that time.
You gotta drive for 2 days both ways.
Well,
It's not gonna happen.
But here's the thing. Remember, PDX is like Thursday? No, Friday through
Friday,
Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
It's not on Monday on that one, I don't think, but it
No,
was on Monday
not.
last time. I can't have him take off a whole week of school, especially during that time of the year. It's like preparing for midterms.
Yep. Well, with my wife, she's in college too, right? But her classes are working out really good. She already has Fridays off, and Thursday. By then, she has I can't remember what it's called, but like it's a class where you only take it for half a semester, then it ends.
Right.
And so it ends like just shortly before then. So she gets out on Thursday early enough for us to get to the airport and fly over that night, and then we're there for Thursday, and then we fly back Sunday. So it's gonna work out pretty good.
Yeah. See,
But for anybody to take off a week to drive with you and then come back, it would have to be someone like me who doesn't have a alternative job or school that's going to keep them from doing stuff.
Yeah. See, I want to see if somebody went with me, then we could have probably made it in one day because we could have shared the driving.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know
no,
what I
I
mean?
definitely could. I've done it.
Yeah.
Before.
I
It's,
don't know. I might still
you get
do
there
it,
and you're just
'cause-
like, oh.
yeah.
You spend Thursday night sleeping.
Yeah, but then at the end of all of that, staying up all day, all night, all day out practically, and then driving back, that'd be terrible.
Be brutal. Be brutal. Did
But
you
it
see
would-
the
it would
possible?
be nice to take it with me, but I don't know.
Be cool. I know. I'd like to get a picture with it.
It's just a regular old system with hard.
Oh no,
keys.
it's
That's
not a
nothing
regular
spectacular.
old system.
Everybody's
I
got
don't
computers
know
like this. I know what you're
of
talking about.
anybody else that has a system like that.
Everyone's got a system like this. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Little Jay's got a system like this.
Of course she does. She's in your house. And she built it herself.
I know. No, I'm not that jaded. Trust me. I am well aware of what the system is. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty. I mean, I'm very proud of my system just because of the sentiment that goes behind it. Someone, my size on the internet able to get that much love from a company and that much support from different people to be able to put together a system like this. I'm just like I'm keeping these parts and they're going to be memorialized and stuff like that.
Jerry just said in chat, just drain the systems and ship it. I thought about that, but the thing is, I've seen systems come with like hard drive cages broken off of the steel.
Oh,
I worked for FedEx. I do not. This
want to see
system.
Jay cry?
This system. No, I just had to write a couple emails and be like, "Hey, can I get a?" No, I'm just kidding. But no, I would not have faith that this system would arrive intact.
Oh my god!
Unless I was like paying for overnight and crated the thing. Do you know how much it would cost to overnight crate something somewhere?
That's not cheap.
It would get one of those big steel like containers that go in the plane like by itself. You know what that would cost? My God, man.
Wouldn't be cheap. No.
No, I've thought about doing a small ITX build with water cooling and drain and send that empty and fill it while I'm there.
That'd be cool.
But again, I want to build something that's small enough to fit in my Pelican case. Because again, have you seen the way people load up the airplanes with luggage?
They toss them.
Yeah.
It just, and there it goes, and then you're like, oh my god, that's my baby. No.
You know, the fragile sign, all that does is make them giggle a little bit while they're throwing it. You know?
They just kick it a couple extra times.
What does fraggle mean? I don't know. You're just throwing it in a plane.
hey, George.
I'm not making fun of any baggage handlers
This
out there,
makes funny noises now. What?
this one's full of maracas. Yeah.
Oh my god. But no, I'm excited, but I'm clueless. I haven't attended a LAN party in 20 something years. It's been a very long time, so I had no clue what to expect. And there's really no videos out there that give like a walkthrough of what PDX is like.
Mm-hmm.
So in those that have gone a lot, they're just kind of like, yeah, it's really cool. You just come set up and play. And I'm like, yeah, I guarantee it's not just like that. You've been there to one, but it was a different kind. I think this one has something to do with also like trying to raise some money for people that need food.
Right.
With turkeys or something.
I think there's a food drive going on.
Right. So that's kind of cool.
Because it's just before Thanksgiving. It's 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Right. So, but I mean, what do you do there? What do you expect to do? Like, of course you sit there and play games and stuff.
I think you saw Jerry's live stream. You know, Jerry's, Ed's, and mine. We probably spent 50-50 gaming and mingling.
That's cool. And there's going to be, like I said, because of the roster, there's going to be a lot of being able to mingle and kind of rub shoulders with people.
I don't know if maybe Jerry and I going in February kind of fueled a lot of people wanting to go because there was a handful of people there who knew us.
Right.
But this time I feel like Everybody in the community is gonna go.
Dude, we have
Which I'm gonna be honest here. The introverted part of me wants to go. I can't make it now.
God.
People looking at me. Bye.
Black
You know,
one pop. I'm out.
you know what I mean? Oh my God!
You know-
Too many people here that know my name. That's
You
scary.
know how outgoing I am, and
Mm-hmm.
I like yesterday. It kind of hit me that there's going to be a lot more people there that I know that I, compared to like PAX. There's a handful of people there that knew me, but
Mm-hmm.
the majority I could walk around. Nobody would know me.
Yeah.
I'm going to know everybody there, pretty much. For the most part, the majority of people that are going, I know them.
You
And
know
I'm
what
like,
you're gonna
this
see
is going to
there.
be kind of awesome.
And it's one of the reasons why I
Uh-oh.
say one of the reasons why I say Skunkworks.
Jay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. It looks like you're having an internet connection there. I hear you just fine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he goes. See, he's the plushy terrorist, like I said. Yeah, he gone. He's gone. All right, let's do this. We'll do that. Now I'm big on the screen. It was getting ready to be time to end this thing anyway, but yeah, PDX is going to be fun. The reason why I said Skunkworks is not really like an all that kind of machine is because when I was at PDX in February, it became pretty obvious that all the modding people are there, and that is those guys. Those are the guys who make me go, holy hell, I am a chump builder, and that's kind of neat. So anyway, let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get him back. Let's see. Yeah, we got his A. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, let's just do a couple Aztec talks here, and then we'll go ahead and end the stream. I'm hungry. Little Jay's home, and she's hungry. It's me and her tonight watching movies, because Mama and the baby are out at some event thing. Seth Purvis says AMD is better for Linux. Well, I'll take your word for it because I don't run the Linux. Samuel Larson, Jay, what shaders do you have installed on Minecraft profile, and what version are you using? I'm using 1.8, not 1.88, because shaders don't work on that very well. I am running. I've got all the Zeus shaders, all the CUDA shaders, and then I've got Conquest of the Sun shader, and I kind of switch between them, just messing around. An opinion on the Asus GTX 660 Ti. It's old. Hey, first, I live in Carnoustie Gaming. Hey, first, I live in Australia, and it sucks for PC pricing. It costs $560 for a 970. Titans are $1,500. That is stupid. That's like a 50% markup. Are gaming laptops really worth the ridiculous price just to have the portability that a desktop doesn't? For some people, absolutely. If you're not someone who has one spot that you can always be in, say you're a college student, limited space, you're moving from different dorm rooms in different semesters, or you're moving back to college, or you're moving back home, or you're very on-the-go traveling professional like I used to be. I used to fly all over the country when I worked for IT because we had different offices all over the country. I couldn't take my desktop with me, so powerful gaming computer was definitely something I was interested in. Okay, let's see here. Take one more. Coconut Monkey asks us if we're going to collab a cooking show. No, because I don't know how to cook. I don't even know where the kitchen is. Anyway, Dustin says, what software would you recommend for time-lapse footage? A lot of it depends on what camera you're using, I guess. Some cameras have it built in. If you're trying to hook it up to your computer, I really don't know. Paul's Hardware would be a good person to ask. He does a lot of time-lapse stuff. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Oh, I see a picture of Jerry there, holding up what looks like a tablet, watching the stream. Big goofus there. All right. Guys, we're going to go ahead and end Tech Talk number 90. Holy crap, we've done almost 100 of these shows. That is insane. So, why don't you guys go ahead and give iamApropos a follow. His link, or not a link, but his Twitter handle is right up there in the top right corner. iamApropos. Tell him hi. Give him a what's up from JayzTwoCents. And guys, we're going to get out of here. And we'll see you in the next video. And if not then I'll see you in the video after that. And if you're not in the video after that, well then you suck. Anyway, time to go. We'll see you soon.